7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
There's hers. Is that your swimsuit at the bottom? What color is your swimsuit?
I don't look for mine, I look for hers.
Oh,
What we do here is go back.
maybe you've got to watch her like a hawk. Because she's now in 18 seconds. You go from stage 1 to stage 6 of drowning. Just that, okay? You should got to watch her. Because she's got confidence and you've got to. Can you close the door, please? Michael, can you close the door? Oh, we're going live in 22 seconds. I'll mute myself.
You know what? I think I was actually muted right there. So, what's up, everyone? I think y'all should be able to hear me now. You should be able to hear Jessi as well. Welcome everybody to this, I guess, review of WWE Hell in a Cell. I watched bits and pieces of the show. Jessi watched the show in full. So we'll give our thoughts on it, and I want to know your thoughts in the chat as well. So as always, before we get started, want to let everyone know, super chats and donations take priority. So if you have a super chat, you can send that right through YouTube. If you have a donation, there are donation links in the description of the video. Anything that you want answered, any questions, if you have any predictions for any upcoming shows or any like upcoming stories or champions that you want to see, if you have really anything at all about this show, about Hell in a Cell that you want your voice heard on, make sure to send super chats and donations. Any amount gets all that read out, and then it gets read out on the audio version as well of this show that goes out tomorrow on the Fight Talk podcast feed. So we want to know your thoughts on WWE Hell in a Cell, and there's some stuff that happened last night too that has a lot of people talking. So if you want your thoughts out there on Raw and the storylines going forward there, and the potential kind of hope for the future of WWE Raw based on some of the stories that might be coming out of tomorrow and stuff. So we want to know your thoughts on that. That's a big reason why me and Jessi come on here, is because we want to know the thoughts of the wrestling community on this stuff. So that being said, Jessi, how you doing today?
Doing good. A little bit of chaos beforehand. You got to hear me lecture my husband about being careful at the pool.
Yeah, I caught the tail end of that. I just put my headset back on. But there, yeah, it's chaos over in the Davin household. We all know that. I mean, Jessie's got little Savannah on her at all times. Little Scarlett, she's still got to be a kid, So, yeah. Then they're going to the pool, right? Her and Michael.
Yeah. Well, it was chaos before because apparently we couldn't find the swimsuits. And so Scarlett lost her mind. She was upset because they couldn't go to the pool, but they both found their swimsuits. So
Okay, good deal. Yeah, I never thought about that because, like, I've literally never thought about that until just now. Because, like, for guys, you could just, like, even in public, I could just go swimming and, like, honestly, if I had, like, thick enough boxers on, no one would really be able to tell the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can wear pretty much anything to get into a swim pool. But like girls, like you have to consider so much more than that. You can't just you have to have a bathing suit.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. Yep.
So crisis averted. They're going to the pool. So hopefully everything will be okay. I lectured my husband about the stages of drowning and how quick.
Have you seen kids playing like Marco Polo or any of those kind of games that we used to play back in the day?
Oh yeah, yeah they do. Well, the big controversy at our pool, the big drama was there's like a handicap chair that's like a lift that like takes people down into the pool that are disabled.
Uh-huh.
And there were a bunch of kids like jumping off of that and stuff. That was a big drama at the pool. So
yeah,
they all play games and stuff. I'm sure there's new games, but most of the time it's just they jump and they throw balls and have fun.
What was the I'm trying to think of the name of these games. There was that one game where like one person would stand on the side of the pool, turn the other way, and then people would try to get across the pool. And if they heard them jump in, they'd have to turn around and try to tag them.
I don't remember that game.
That was a good game. And then there was the other one where like you literally it's like tag, like
yeah.
It's just tag. And yeah, I can't believe I'm this old at this point that like I can't even remember this stuff.
I know. It's been so long. I used to be a diver and a synchronized swimmer, so I used to spend so much time at the pool. Like I was in the pool all the time.
Well, same here. Yeah, I was on like the swim team and everything too.
Yeah.
Like I used to have to wake up like super early in the morning and like go swim for
the cold water when you first get.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'd always dread that having to jump in right.
Dive in.
Oh man, those were the days.
Yep.
Sharks and Minnows might have been the game I was trying to think of.
Oh, that's it. I remember that.
Where there's like one guy in the middle, and then like you try to get to the other side, everybody gets tagged, becomes a shark also, and they're trying to last man standing wins. And then we were real dumb. Like we had it to where the drains at the bottom of the pool would be the base. Like you couldn't get tagged on the drains, but now it's like there's like all those stories of like. Or I just shouldn't say all those stories. I remember back in the 90s, there was that one story about, like, someone getting, like, their guts pulled through their butt or something in one of those drains. Like, it was like, all over the news. Yeah.
I feel like that's Afraid of the Dark or something.
Yeah, it might have been. I might be thinking of an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? But no, there was some big thing I remember happening in the 90s to where...
I feel like that was debunked. I think I remember what you're talking about.
I gotta look it up now. Someone in the chat might know. Swimming.
Dude, I can tell you how I almost died at Fort Wilderness at Disney.
Oh yeah, go for it.
In the pool, me and my friend were at Fort Wilderness in the pool there, and I'm swimming, and I feel like the light, those lights at the bottom of the pool, and I had my foot on it, and I let go, and all of a sudden, I felt something hit me in the back. The light had become disconnected from the pool, and the wire was exposed and had floated up to the top. And I was like, God. I looked, it was right on me too. I looked at the lifeguard and I was like, excuse me, the lights fell off. And he was like, everybody out of the pool now. So Disney almost had a wrongful death suit on their hands.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they closed the pool for the rest of the time we were there. I thought it was my fault.
Someone said Jordan Lazarus saying it was on Final Destination. Are you saying Jessie's thing was, or that the thing I was thinking of?
The intestines thing. I'm pretty sure.
I'm looking it up, and it's like I'm just looking on like Google questions or whatever, and it says here. I can actually pull it over so y'all can see. See this? It says like you can get disemboweled if there's
God.
enough suction.
Oh God, don't manifest that.
Yeah, no, I'll get rid of it. But that's what I remember there being some story. It was one of those things that always stuck with me. Like I'll never forget when I was a kid. We have a water park in Atlanta called Whitewater. It's like this giant water park, and
Yeah.
I'll never forget there was a player for the Atlanta Braves in the '90s named Walt Weiss, and his son got E. coli at Whitewater when we were kids.
Oh,
I'll just never forget that. You know what I mean? It was just a thing that was just ingrained in my mind. Just like this other thing where it's like I've heard of some kid getting like sucked, like their inside sucked out from a drain in the pool, and I was like, yeah, I'm never touching one of those things again. Like, oh my God. Well, anyways, y'all, that's a good introduction to a pro wrestling show.
This should disembowel me.
Yeah, did this show disembowel you? I guess right off the bat, before we even review anything, on a scale of like let's say 1 to 5. On a scale of 1 to 5, what would you give? Actually, a scale of 1 to 10 is probably easier. What would you give this show overall for someone like me who hasn't seen the thing in full yet?
I would give it. I'm gonna be generous just because I really enjoyed the opening match. I'll give it a 6.5.
That's not a bad score, actually. It's
No,
not that bad.
It was about. I mean, the wrestling was good. The finishes were questionable, but the wrestling itself, other than a few botches, which we'll get into, it was pretty good. And like I said, the first match was the best match.
Okay, yeah, we'll jump into that.
Definitely.
So the first match we had. Was there anything notable on the pre-show? Did you catch Natalia and Mandy Rose?
No, I didn't because the Peacock app was not working.
Well, there you go. So neither of us have any opinions on that one because I just haven't seen it. Bianca Belair and Bayley opened the show up though. Hell in a Cell match. This was announced I think on either Friday or Saturday because it wasn't. Because whenever we did our predictions, you had actually said this should be in Hell in a Cell.
Yes.
What did you think about the match?
Oh my God, this should have gone on last, honestly, because this was like the match. I really, really enjoyed this match. I thought both Bianca Belair and Bayley really brought it. I feel like Bayley is like Miss Hell in a Cell now, kind of like Sasha Banks. And, you know, I was really kind of hesitant with Bayley's kind of like almost fiendish character. You know what I'm saying? Like her character's kind of snapped and she kind of like went a little crazy there. But it really worked for this Hell in a Cell match. I really enjoyed it. I really, really liked all the spots they did. It was brutal, but not overly done. Bianca Belair, they like did a bunch of stuff with Bianca Belair's hair, which I always enjoy because it's like if she's got this big giant hair, you might as well use it. And, like Bayley tied it to a chair and just kind of stuff like that. And then I think Bianca Belair did the same thing, but she used it to her advantage and got the win. Like I said, it was really, really good. There was a really cool spot with the kendo sticks where they put the kendo sticks up on the cell. So like they were in the ring and on the cell, so they were horizontal to the ground. And then someone went through the kendo sticks like that. So I thought that was kind of cool. Someone got thrown through.
So it was like a table, like a kendo stick table almost?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, and they like broke the kendo sticks that way. And so I really did enjoy this match. I thought it should not have been the opener because everything else just felt like a letdown, kind of, except save for a few matches. But I really enjoyed this match, and I think Bayley and I think Bianca Belair should be a long-term champion because she brought it. And you know, it's interesting because obviously on the main roster, you always kind of wonder and question, you know, will Bianca Belair be able to give us a good match with each person because the chemistry is different. But I feel like she really did, and I feel like with every person that she's faced on the main roster, I'm just talking main roster, it's gone extremely well. And so I feel like she has long-term champion potential.
That's good, because the women's division, all of WWE is so super stacked right now. So,
yeah,
like Bianca, like, it's cool that they are able to continue to add to that, because, I mean, you're always going to have a great core of, like, Charlotte. Whenever, you know, Becky comes back, she's going to be, like, the biggest star in the company again, probably, outside of maybe Roman. But even then, like, you know what I'm saying? Like Becky should
Yeah.
she should hopefully pick right back up where she kind of left off. You're always gonna have Bailey there. You're always gonna have Sasha, and then like the fact that you're continuing to get influxes of new talent, because like Bianca Belair, for instance, I don't remember her from the indies at all. Like I think she's mainly like a PC product.
Yeah,
So
I talked about that. She's like one of the exceptions.
yeah, so like, and that's really good to see for a lot of reasons. So yeah, I'm glad that they had a good match, and I'm glad to see Bianca with the title still, because that was a big moment at WrestleMania when she beat Sasha, and I thought that match was really good, and I thought it deserved a main event one of the nights of WrestleMania, which it did. So I thought, I was hoping that she was going to get a long-term, like a really credible long-term reign, and it seems like that's been the case so far, so that's really good to know.
Yes, and Deshawn, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, "Hey Jessi, how are you, beautiful? The show was okay." Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, the show was okay. It was average. It wasn't anything great, but it wasn't like super terrible either. And then DeAndre says, "Her and Michael Cole, Bailey, it's the best thing every time." Yeah, she oh God, what did she say? Like, it was like Michael Cole was like, "Will Bailey be able to get the offense?" And Bailey was like, "Yes, they will. They watch the show, Michael," or something like that. It was just really funny. She talked back to him on commentary. It was hilarious.
Okay. Have they been doing like just because I haven't been watching, so I just don't know. Have they had any kind of like a Michael Cole and Bailey? Have they been anything like Britt Baker and Shivani kind of at all?
Not to the level. It's just mostly like banter from the ring.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, that's still something different. That's cool.
Yeah, it's funny and it made me laugh. So
Well, good deal. Bianca with the win. I like seeing that, and it sounds like Bailey's still well off. I mean, if people are still talking about her and she's still having good matches, I mean, and then I guess with this new kind of character she's doing and everything, so it sounds like she's still in a good spot. After that, we had Seth Rollins over Cesaro, got the win. I'm trying to remember the finish of this one. Was this did he curb stomp him at that? I can't even remember.
I can't remember either. Was it a roll up? I thought there was like a lot of roll up victories on this.
That's that's what I was wondering also.
Remember, my husband was snoring so damn loud during this whole damn match. So it was really distracting. I made a video of it on my Twitter.
Nice. Because this was a WrestleMania match also, wasn't it? And Cesaro won.
Yes, and so now Seth Rollins won. And so I mean this was good. I mean Seth Rollins and Cesaro both, yeah, it was a roll up. That's what I thought. It was like a roll up victory.
Yeah.
It was a really good match. I mean, Cesaro and Seth Rollins are both, like I said, fantastic wrestlers. They're both extremely talented. I'm really happy to see Cesaro with a singles run. I'd like for a title to be in the picture, but I mean, we'll see. But I really did. This was a fun match. Just, you know what this feels like? And I think I saw it on Twitter. Someone said this was WrestleMania Backlash.
Right.
Save for like Bianca Belair and Charlotte and Rhea Ripley, but it just felt like a lot of the same.
Yeah, that's how I felt about it too. That's a big reason why I wasn't like into really watching. I literally had it on one of my TVs. Like I have the two TVs in our living room. One of them had Hell in a Cell on mute, and honestly, I can't even remember what I was watching instead. But it was like something that wasn't. It was something that definitely wasn't time sensitive. It was like I was watching like some like YouTube. There's this guy on YouTube I've been watching. Shout out to Zach Hampel. This dude he's caught more baseballs at stadiums than anyone in history. He's on like how just out of curiosity, Jessi, roughly how many baseballs do you think like the person who's caught the most baseballs at a stadium? Now you got in history, like goes to a lot of games. You're not counting just foul balls and home runs, like also like before the game, like getting like toss ups from the players and the umpires and stuff.
For the game too?
Yeah, before the game, any ball he can get at the game that like came off the field from like a player, umpire, coach, that was like a part of the game.
257.
Like lifetime?
Yes.
Yeah, he's in like the 11 or 12 thousands.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So,
Keep them all.
well, that's the thing. He has literal trash cans full of them in his place, but he's made a whole career out of this. And he without getting the whole too deep into it, he gives away a lot of the balls too, like to kids. Like he'll catch one and then like he'll give them out to the kids and stuff.
Yeah.
But like this guy, like I've been watching his videos for a minute and I didn't realize like he's been doing this since the 90s and like wrote a book in the 90s, and he also is the guy who caught A-Rod's 300 or 3000th hit and everything, like because it wound up being a home run. Like this guy he's made a living catching baseballs at stadiums and has this like really successful YouTube channel doing it. So anyways, I was like watching those instead of Raw. I was just like, or instead of Hell in a Cell. Like, I could have totally just watched Hell in a Cell and watched that after, but I was like, I feel like I've already seen all these matches many times, you know? So.
It just feels like they're like literally at a stalemate until they go in front of live crowds, which
Yeah.
I get and I completely understand, but at the same time, if no one's watching because they're bored, they're not going to come to your live show. Like,
Good point.
I mean, obviously people are going to show up right now because it'll be like the first shows back, but it's like, it'll be really interesting to see how people react to these shows weekly. I mean, WrestleMania was different. WrestleMania was special, so of course people were going to cheer who they want to cheer and boo who they want to boo. And it almost kind of aligned with the storylines. But at the same time, week after week, these fans, they've been home for a long time. I don't know if they're going to have a lot of patience. I think initially things will be nice, but I feel like things are going to turn real quickly once fans get acclimated to being crowds again. Because I feel like people have been sitting at home. They're not really going to be used to cheering for 3 hours. I feel like they'll tire out quickly. But once people get back used to it, I feel like, I don't know, man. It's just going to be real interesting to see how all this BS plays out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really. I mean, I saw Vince McMahon apparently had. I can't remember who reported it or where I saw it. It was something on Twitter. But somebody said something along the lines of Vince McMahon is aware of how stale the product is right now, and they're waiting for fans to come back, like to do like good ideas, basically. Like they're just like content with it being stale until there's fans back. But that's a legitimate concern, like what you said. Like because that's the thing. Like I've lost so much interest that if Raw or a pay-per-view or, I mean, honestly, it'd have to be like WrestleMania or like the Royal Rumble in Atlanta for me to even be interested in going live to a WWE show. Like I'll go to anything AEW does. Like they could do a house show here untelevised and I'll go. But
yeah,
you know, like I'm so uninterested in WWE, and I know I'm not alone. So yeah, it will be interesting. I also, based on the Seth Rollins win, I saw people saying that like one of the big plans is going to be Seth Rollins and Edge feuding. How do you feel about that if that happens?
Oh, I wouldn't mind that at all. I feel like Seth Rollins is a really good worker. But then again, him with old people with back issues, considering what he did to Sting.
Yeah, yeah, that was Sting's fault though, I think, for
Yeah,
the most part.
I know.
Like I love Sting, but like I think he's even admitted that was on him.
Yeah. No, it sounds like it would be interesting. Like I said, they said they're bringing out like all the stops when they go back on tour. I would not mind Seth versus Edge because it's different. It's different. It's something I haven't seen. I hope it's different. I hope we haven't seen that before.
So we haven't seen it ever, but what's interesting is I do remember years ago whenever they did it was like the storyline where the Authority, I think it was it might have been right after Sting debuted actually.
Uh-huh.
The Authority wound up losing all their power. And I remember
After Survivor Series, right?
Yeah, I think that was it actually. Yeah, and this my timeline might be off, but I just remember the Authority was out of power. Edge was in the ring, and Seth Rollins like threatened to curb stomp Edge until the Authority got their power back. So like there's like actually a story between the two of them that started like, I mean, 5 6 years ago. This would have been when Rollins was Money in the Bank, probably. Still,
Yeah,
when he had the briefcase.
That was his best Seth. That was the best Seth.
Oh yeah, I agree for sure. Best moment, and one of the best moments in WrestleMania history, honestly, I think, was him cashing in the main event.
Yeah, that was so good.
Yeah, it was awesome. So I think that Seth and Edge will be a really good match, and I think that
the build will be really good too because Edge is a boss on and the promos, and I mean Seth isn't bad either. So
no, I think Seth Rollins great. I just think he's just gotten kind of stale, but I guess he's kind of reinvented himself with the whole drip god thing that he's doing now. So
yes,
I mean he's always been really good in the ring though. Like I'm never gonna complain about Seth Rollins like getting a push or something.
Seth Rollins is real good in the ring, yeah, for sure. Never been. I've always been one to complain about his character. His character work, just he seems kind of douchey.
Yeah,
kind of douchey. But his in-ring work is fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. Next match, whoops, I'm hitting the wrong button here. Let me highlight this so people can see. Or it's actually easier for me when I'm looking back over it. So this match, Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
She beats Shayna. I told Jessi before the show I didn't watch a second of this. If you can explain a little bit of what happened here.
Okay, so Alexa Bliss comes out. She got new music, by the way. They debuted it on Monday. I don't think it was debuted on Sunday because she came out to like the Firefly Funhouse theme, and I was like, oh, maybe Bray's coming back. But so she comes out. She's all goth and stuff. Ookie spooky. By the way, I'm really happy that she's wrestling again. Just getting that out there. I may poo-poo on this match, but I think that her wrestling is what's best for business, and she actually did a really good job, so I'll get to that later. So she comes out, and obviously Shayna's got Nia and Reginald. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
With her. And so the match starts, and Alexa Bliss, I'll tell you what, her wrestling, I don't know what she's been doing training, but she looked really good. Her offense looks completely different. She looks it's a lot more intense. It's a lot more, I guess you could say character driven almost. She's very, not Bray Wyatt-ish, but it's a lot more strong. She still does the thing when someone kicks out and she throws like a little temper tantrum. Mm. But she did some pretty cool moves that I haven't seen her do, or if she did, she made him look 1,000 times better. The only thing that really sucked was she was doing all this really cool stuff. It was a pretty good match. And then there's like hypnosis. All of a sudden, Nia Jax is like staring out into the abyss, and she let out this scream. And honestly, it scared me. Like it was like one of those creepy screams like you see in horror movies. And it distracted Shayna. And then like Reginald gets hypnotized. So there's all this like voodoo magic going on. And eventually that leads to Alexa Bliss picking up the win. And it was just like, where can Shayna go at this point?
I really, like, honestly, I was expecting at some point, because I know fans are coming back, so they're going to have to figure this out soon. But I was honestly, like, I'm mentally prepared for them to do Shayna versus the doll.
Oh my God. Then I never want to hear another WWE fan complain about Kenny Omega wrestling a blow-up doll. If they do, honestly.
I want to see the doll hit a Hurricane Rana, though. That'd be, like, that's my thing.
My God. Well, they might, because even though she's going in timeout because of live crowds. Alexa Bliss's new entrance music, I mean, the Titantron, the LED screen, it's got Lily, like, singing the song or something. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's real dumb. And she's in the background like, he. I'm like, oh, God, they're really making this part of Alexa Bliss's character. But to Alexa Bliss's credit, for God's sake, I don't really know anyone else that they could throw this shit on, this doll, and all this bullshit, this playground bullshit. She is giving it 110 damn %. I mean, she's like, I'm going to take this role. I'm going to be the best demon child doll bearer that there has ever been. And my God, she's fucking killing it out there. So props to Alexa Bliss. She's fantastic. Like, actress. I mean, she could have a very good acting career, I feel. Um, maybe better off doing that. I don't know, but she's done she's done a really, 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 really good job with this awkward role.
Yeah, I mean, it's just unwatchable for me. But I know that like I was a fan of Alexa even like real early in her NXT career. Like I saw a lot of potential in her. Like she was doing that Twisted Bliss move like pretty early on. I always thought it looked pretty cool, and I was like, oh, but she had like that kind of lame like sparkle gimmick and stuff.
Yeah.
But when she wound up debuting on the main roster, and they wound up pushing her like pretty heavily, pretty quick. She really like there was a lot of pressure, I'm sure, on her to sink or swim in that situation, and she totally like she not only swam, she became like one of the like kind of most talked about people on the whole show. And then I remember like it got to the point where she wasn't on WrestleMania for whatever reason that one year, but like she was the host. Like she was still like so popular that she was the host of the show and stuff. So it's like Alexa is one of the biggest like stars probably that the company has.
Yeah.
It's just this gimmick is it's just not for. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's for you. It just isn't for me. So it just is what it is. Like I just can't really watch it. And yeah, and then Shayna. I've been watching Shayna Baszler for decades. I mean, almost decades at this point, probably. And I've watched her go from legitimate MMA fighter to who I thought was going to carry the MMA for kind of for the women's side, and with Ronda being gone, I was like, oh well, Shayna, she'll probably pretty much pass the torch to Shayna because Shayna's ready to carry the torch in pro wrestling, and now she's doing whatever this is. It's just like, all right,
it's
yeah. Well, we'll talk about something that was. I mean, this will always be good, no matter how many. I mean, I've seen this match. If you want to date back to their indie days, I mean, I've seen this match so many times. But we had Sami Zayn defeating Kevin Owens in a little less than 13 minutes. So, pretty short match considering the matches that I've seen between the two historically. But Zayn gets the win. I think he won it clean as well. Like, I don't think he cheated or anything. Just straight up beat Kevin Owens.
Was it clean?
He got him with the haluva kick in the corner, though. I do know that.
It was clean. It was clean.
So, I mean, I think that's pretty big for Sami Zayn. I think I saw Sean Ross Sapp tweet something along the lines of, like, Zayn, I don't think, had won a singles match since, like, October of last year. So Zayn's a guy who like rarely wins matches, but now he's like getting a pretty big clean win over Kevin Owens, and I think Owens might be taking some time off based
Looks
on
like it.
Yeah, and he seems to do that a lot. And then nothing against the guy, but like I just feel like they go in cycles with Owens, where like he's like heavily pushed towards the main event of the show for a minute, and then like he disappears for a while, and then it's like kind of rinse and repeat, almost kind of like Bray Wyatt. Like they do the same thing with him.
Yes, with their bigger guys, yeah.
So, what do you think about all this? Because I mean, personally, as a Sami Zayn fan, like I'm happy to see this for him.
Yeah, like I said, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will always deliver. Like you can guarantee a good match when these two put it on. And I know a lot of WWE fans, including myself, like to complain about repetition and repeating matches, and we've seen the same stuff. I feel like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are an exception to that kind of criticism because they are two guys who can go in there time after time and give you a great match, and it's always different. And even if it's a little bit the same, you're not going to know that because their character work is so good. And, you know, Sami Zayn's character has evolved so much and Kevin Owens' character has evolved so much, and they put that into their matches. This was really fun. I knew it was going to be really fun. Had this been shit, I would be panicking right now. I'd be in a crisis because they are just two of the best, you know, in-ring characters and in-ring workers. it'll be interesting to see where Sami Zayn goes from here. He's got a win under his belt. I feel like that'll make him cocky. He's going to want to go after a title. I still want to see his movie. I'm still waiting for that. His crew was not there. I don't know where they went.
Did they actually do that? Like, was that just a story? I legitimately don't know.
Sharing all that footage. He used to share all that footage on Twitter. And I don't know. I really liked it. And like I said, it sucks Kevin Owens is taking time off, but I mean, we don't really. I mean, I don't know the story behind that. Maybe that's in his contract. I mean, it's got a great contract. I mean, it makes sense. Maybe there's like a person in his family with health issues, and touring isn't exactly the best thing to do right now. I mean, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. That's
so I'm gonna miss Kevin Owens. My ringtone has been Kevin Owens' theme song for like since we lived in Orlando, for like almost 5 years. So I love Kevin Owens. I love Sami Zayn too. So it'll be interesting to see where Sami Zayn goes from here. But yeah, this was actually a really good match. A lot of fun spots. The Haluva kick in the corner. Oh man, it looked brutal. Sami Zayn was like bleeding from the mouth. It was great.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like the two beat the hell out of each other. So, I mean, for a match that was sub 13 minutes in length, I mean, it sounds like they made the most of that, and based on what I saw, I did enjoy, what I did see of the match, and I thought the finish was good. So
yeah, the finish was good. The match was good. Yeah, it certainly felt like it went a lot faster than 13 minutes too. But I mean, fight forever, Kevin and Sami. I mean, can't go wrong.
Yeah, for sure. This will not be the last time we see the two of them wrestle each other. That's for sure. But yeah, it's a very reliable match to go back to when you need it.
Absolutely.
Up next, we had Charlotte Flair defeating Rhea Ripley by disqualification. So Rhea Ripley retains the Raw Women's Championship. I was asking Jessi before the show, and I'll ask again. So as someone who doesn't watch Raw weekly, during the build-up, it definitely, from just a little bit I had seen, it seemed Charlotte was the heel, Rhea was the babyface. I watched this match, or most of this match, but then, like, at the end, Rhea causes the DQ, so, like, that made me second-guess, like, is Rhea, like, what's Rhea's character, like, why would she DQ herself? Like, babyfaces generally don't do that. And it also sounds like Charlotte's going to get another title shot anyways soon. So yeah, what are your thoughts on all this?
Oh man, okay. So last night I was watching Raw and Rhea Ripley comes out and because she's out there because Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce are out there talking about it, and she comes out and she's got this like smug smirk on her face, and she had and I realized that's all she can do in this character they have her in. I feel like she is so uncomfortable in this role that they've given her, this like tweener role, because she's clearly not a babyface, but she's clearly not a heel, because Charlotte Flair once again talked her way into a championship match at a pay-per-view. It's going to be Rhea Ripley and Charlotte at Money in the Bank. So Charlotte is the heel because she put herself into this match when you have all these other women that, technically, if they had rankings in WWE like they do in AEW, they would say, hey, I'm a number one contender, what the hell? But Charlotte, like, makes her way in. I feel like Charlotte's the heel. But then you have Rhea Ripley being smug, doing these BS DQ finishes so she can retain her championship, and just smiling all smug throughout the whole damn thing, and Charlotte's getting all pissed. And I feel like Rhea is really uncomfortable. I feel like she doesn't know what to do with this character. It's foreign to her. I feel like if they would let her go full-blown heel, it might be good. Or full-blown babyface. Hell, I don't know. It's so confusing, and it started from the very beginning when I'll never forget, I was watching Raw and they like interview her, was it like after WrestleMania or maybe even before, when she debuted, whenever that was.
Oh, well, she like re-debuted at the Royal Rumble, I think, right?
I think so, something like that. But she cuts this promo, and you can tell she's reading like cue cards. She's like looking off into the corner, and she's like reading something, or it just it feels disconnected, and which is a shame because in NXT she was great, and I don't know what's going on, and it just her character is just so it doesn't fit her. It doesn't fit all by I don't know. It just doesn't fit. This match was okay, save for the big botch where Charlotte was kicking air for no reason. Did you see that?
Yeah, apparently that was like I
Her
saw.
mocking.
Yeah, she was mocking, but I don't know what the reference was because I haven't been watching the show. Like, I don't know if there was a point where like if they had like a Dark Order type moment where like at one point Rhea might have done something like that where like she like missed by a whole lot and Charlotte was mocking her. Like, remember when the Dark Order was doing like the punches on the ground,
Yes.
like early on, and like it was missing by like this much, and the whole internet was roasting it. I don't know if that's maybe a reference to that because otherwise, yes, it just looked like Charlotte was just missing by like 5 feet on those kicks.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, they are both fantastic wrestlers. Rhea Ripley's incredibly talented, and um, Charlotte is like one of the best.
Yeah.
In the business. She's fantastic. But I mean, it was a good match, but the finish just killed it. That botch was stupid. I just, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I don't. I'm really worried that when Rhea Ripley goes out in front of fans, there's going to be like damn crickets because no one knows what the hell to do.
Yeah, yeah. I feel the same way about Drew McIntyre potentially also in front of fans.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a little concerned about it. I like Drew a lot. Like I don't think that anything that happens to him going forward from the fans, if anything, like none of it is his fault. Like he checks all the boxes you want a guy to check. He's a good looking dude who's good in the ring, who's good on the mic, who looks like he can kick ass, who, still in his physical prime for sure, and got a heavy push. Just unfortunately, there was no fans during the whole thing. So yeah, and then when there was fans back, he lost to Lashley, and it's like I'm not saying I didn't want Lashley to win, but if you were gonna give McIntyre that moment, like that was the time. Because now they're in a situation where he keeps losing. This was supposedly the last chance he can get at the title. I said before the show that I thought maybe McIntyre would win Money in the Bank or something. Because then that's like a way of him still doing it. Or they do a draft like we talked about last week where, he has to challenge for the Universal title or something. But it's like, yeah, I'm so this match though itself, we'll talk about this first because as far as the women's match with Charlotte and Rhea, like I'm with you. I'm lost on how I'm supposed to feel about the story, but I do like Rhea. But once again, I just haven't been watching the show to know like how bad her character is, and I'm always down for Charlotte being in the title match. Like I've thought about that before. Like I have no issue. Her gimmick is pretty much that's what she does. Like, she has title matches and she wins championships. And if she's not the champion, she's challenging for the championship. Like, so, I have no problem with it. And I do really think that Charlotte's going to win the title from her. Like, I don't know why else you just keep doing this match over and over again if the end result wasn't Charlotte winning the title from Rhea. So yeah, all that being said, the main event of the show, Bobby Lashley defeated Drew McIntyre. The finish of this match, like there was some really good stuff in this match, and there was the really funny stuff that I'll let you talk about with the hand.
Yes.
But the finish of this match was, if I remember correctly, it was very similar to WrestleMania, where MVP distracted the ref, or I think you said maybe the ref, but it was a roll up, right? It was just a roll up win, wasn't it?
I missed it. I fell asleep.
Yeah.
And I woke up with Bobby Lashley holding the championship and Drew McIntyre looking pissed. But there was a ref bump.
Yeah.
And then there was like some shenanigans with the referee, and I think MVP pulled the referee out. I don't know. I think something happened. the match was good. Uh, it was fun. I mean, there was a really funny spot where, and I don't know, tell me why they did this. And I think I've come to the conclusion after watching the clip, maybe 10 times. This is what I've deduced has happened. I don't know. Something happened. Okay, so Bobby Lashley throws Drew McIntyre over the top rope. Drew McIntyre lands allegedly on a table, allegedly, that breaks. They take a while to cut to Drew McIntyre on the floor. You would think with 25,000 camera cuts, 17 cameras around the ring, they would have somebody on Drew McIntyre on the ground. But no, they don't. But they cut to it a little early, and you see a hand push out from under the ring a broken table. For one, who the hell was that? What is going on? Number two, did Drew McIntyre break a table? Or did they have him land on a damn crash pad and push the table out to make it look like he landed on the table? I don't know. Maybe the table, when it broke, went under the ring and, the invisible hand decided, hey, we need to get this table out there so people know. I don't know. It was freaking weird. It, tripped me out. I thought it was hallucinating. I was so confused. It was weird, but stupid, and I feel like if it was, and I know this is an AEW versus WWE, but if it was AEW, we'd never hear the damn end of it. Which I wouldn't mind because it was funny, but they'd be like, oh, this is bad business or whatever. I'm like, you know what? I don't think it was a bad thing. It didn't, I mean, it threw me off for a second, but then I was right back into the match. I mean, it was fun. It didn't really give me super Hell in a Cell vibes. I mean, I know Drew McIntyre's back. They showed pictures of their backs all messed up and stuff. It just didn't feel like Hell in a Cell to me. There were no big dives off the cells. I mean, because they save all that shit for fans. Just, it did not feel. This whole pay-per-view felt kind of off. The first match felt very Hell in a Cell. This just didn't give me ultimate Hell in a Cell vibes. It wasn't extreme as I like. But then again, these two have I don't want to say that and discredit the hard work they put in. I feel bad saying that because I know that can't be fun. I know that has to hurt. But as DeAndre said, the pay-per-view did really need Roman Reigns. And it did feel like that was missing, which, I don't know. That's a whole other thing. But it was And I think the reason they did the whole messed up finish was that because the stipulation was if Drew loses, he can never challenge for it again. I feel like this gives him an open door to challenge again. So.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they just really overexposed the whole Hell in a Cell concept and everything. It's unfortunate. They it's like. They did the match on SmackDown, then they wound up doing one. They did two on the show, and they did one on Raw last night, and it's just they've basically made it where it's just like any other cage match. Which, I mean, it used to be such an awesome concept back in the day, but it just is what it is now. But I mean, that's funny. I didn't even consider the possibility that they might have edited that fall and everything, and then pushed a broken table out from under the ring that. I mean, obviously they can try to get away with that since there's no fans right now, because I'd imagine they're usually outside of Hornswoggle. I don't know who else would have been just under the ring for the entire show, just to be there for Although I heard Brian Alvarez bring this up, this idea. He said maybe they're at a point now in the WWE where when they have these gimmick matches, they're because you know how it's really often that somebody will go to find a weapon under the ring, but go to the wrong part of the ring, and then they're looking around for it. Maybe they just have someone under there now for gimmick matches to feed them stuff, no matter where they're at, so they don't have to look for it.
That would be weird. What a weird job.
Yeah. Oh man. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. There's something going on with the police, right outside my place.
What, are you serious? Are you okay?
It has nothing to do with me. No, it's my neighbor. I can see there's been some sort of domestic this something going on a few buildings over for a little while now. Like I hear these people yelling at each other a lot. They're not like they're a few buildings away from me. Like it's all like it doesn't affect me at all. I can just hear it when my windows are open during the day. Sometimes they're yelling at each other, and now I can see the cops are like talking to them and stuff. So
you need to. Shit goes down, you gotta go. Go.
Yeah. No. It's nothing like that. I just happened to catch it as it was kind of starting to happen. But then the other thing with with Roman Reigns, the only and this is just speculation. I have no idea, but like I have to imagine like he must have wanted off for Father's Day or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Was that what? People were saying?
That's what I would assume. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Yeah, because it was like this show, like Roman. And I know people will say, well, you know, you've already bought Peacock. It's only $10 or $5 or whatever. So like they're not really trying to sell you on pay-per-view anymore so much like they used to. But the difference between Roman Reigns being on the show or not is basically the difference of me like I probably would have, especially if Roman would have opened the show. Well, actually opened or closed, because he's done a good job doing both on these pay-per-views where sometimes he's the opening match and it's like awesome and I get like super invested in the rest of the show, or he's the main event, so like I actually sit through a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have watched any like otherwise, because I'm like, all right, well, I'll watch a few matches and get like hyped up for Roman. But for him to just not be on the show, once again, if it was a Father's Day thing that like he had worked out with the company or something, because we also know, I mean, he straight up didn't do WrestleMania, you know, last in 2020, like just straight up like his family was more important. Like he's made that very clear. So yeah, anyways, this show, the point of me saying all this is this show definitely did automatically drop down a few notches than where it probably would have been just based on Roman not being on the show. Because Roman, I didn't watch SmackDown, but I'm assuming Roman and Ray in Hell in a Cell was probably really good.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was really good. Yeah, it was a good match. It should have been on the pay-per-view, but like I said, I don't want to judge anyone for wanting to miss. Shout out to Seth Rollins who missed his first Father's Day. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a good point. I think it's really a testament to Roman Reigns and how powerful his character is and how powerful that storyline is that he's got going on. How much of an X factor and a difference it could have made in this pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, you know, I can't really score this pay-per-view because there's so much of it I just haven't watched all the way through. Jessi said 6.5 out of 10, which I think is a pretty like it's not a good score, but it's not. It could be a much worse score. I mean,
it's a respectful score.
Yeah, I mean, in comparison, I give most of like AEW's pay-per-views. They're usually, even the ones with like the big botches, I think were still like an 8 or so, like minimum. Yeah. So like, you know, it is just to give comparison kind of how kind of I feel like the pay-per-views have delivered between those two companies. But yeah, I mean, there was some decent stuff. And then on Raw, just because once again I didn't watch the show, but I saw that Ricochet beat AJ Styles, Matt Riddle beat Drew McIntyre, and I think Morrison beat Orton. I could be wrong about that though. I need to double check that.
With Riddle and Orton, and I don't know what it was. I just saw they were both looking at each other, and
then you know the main event you had Xavier Woods and Lashley for the title in another Hell in a Cell match. Of course, you know, Lashley retained in that, but I mean, that's something where I bet half the WWE fan base is probably stoked because they're like, yes, change is finally here. Like, change is coming and like, things are going to be different. And then, like, half the fan base is probably more kind of how I am, where I'm like, yeah, don't get your hopes up that much yet. Like this could all go away very, very easily. I mean, all it takes is Ricochet to look at the camera wrong one time for Vince McMahon to be like, never mind. You know what I mean? Like, it's so. But I don't know. What did you think about the results there, though? Like, do you think the WWE is like attempting to like show that they're listening to the fans in some way, shape, or form with these kind of like results? Because these were all Money in the Bank qualifiers too.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at this point anything can change at the drop of a hat when fans return. This is just a placeholder card because I mean, if we go back and Ricochet is just like dead in front of the crowd, you know what I mean? Things will change. They'll find a way to write it out. They'll find a way for him to, challenge his spot and then lose his spot. So at this point, nothing is set in stone. And I think that's, and last night, there was somebody that I retweeted as Boondock. He said that he watched Raw for the first time last night in 2021. He said he's probably going to wait until 2022 to check back in. And I said it's pathetic. And someone said, well, if it's pathetic, then why do you keep watching? Well, because I have hope. And there's nothing else going on Monday nights. And I have a podcast to run. And I do really have hope that when fans come back, that this product will pick back up. Like there's like less engagement all around, I feel, on social media and on, YouTube and stuff. I feel like there's less engagement going on right now because people just aren't interested because they all know it's just blah right now until crowds come back. But I really do hold out hope, and I really do hope that crowds being back brings back this product to what it once was. I feel like wrestling needs fans, and they need fans because you can't really get answers on social media. Social media is going to shit on everything. And, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but.
No, it's true. I mean, that's, you're in the same position as like, I think most like fans that are around our age. Like, I think a lot of the people that are watching Raw every Monday are, like it's because I was like that for a very long time too. I mean, like for years and years and years. I mean, it was always like, all right, if I just wait a little bit longer, it's gonna get better. And I just eventually hit a point where I was like, I just don't care if it gets better or not. Like now, I'm just gonna watch other wrestling. Like there's just so many other options that I can just. Now my Mondays are free to watch whatever. It's funny because I still watch a lot of WWE programming on Mondays. That's usually when I go back and I rewatch like. The Most Wanted Treasures show from A&E and stuff. Like, yeah. I use that time. But here's the thing. If Raw does continue to get better, if they make some significant changes, like, I'll start watching it again. Like, I'm not taking this, like, firm stance of, like, I'm never going to watch Raw again. Like, screw the WWE. It's more like, I've sat there for years and years and years waiting for it to get better, and eventually I just stopped caring. And yeah, Savannah understands. It sounds like she gets it.
Yeah, she's like, yes, preach.
Yes. So, now also I've talked about it before. If they put Roman on Mondays, that solves a lot of my problems, like immediately. Yeah. Because I would tune in. I'm a lot more likely to tune in to see what he's doing. I'm not nearly as likely on Friday because there's just other stuff on Fridays, like, or other wrestling, or, there's just, usually SmackDown is, like, the last thing down on my priority list on a Friday.
Yeah.
But on a Monday night, like, I want to watch wrestling. So, but I just don't have, I've been watching AEW Dark, for the most part on Mondays, and, like.
Or, like, is that Dark Elevation?
Yeah. Yeah. And, like, they've had solid wrestlers and stuff, solid matches. A lot of the time it's kind of like squash match type stuff, but that's totally fine for me. Like, I'd rather watch FTR win a squash match than watch, Alexa Bliss, voodoo magic Shayna Baszler with a doll. Like, so just is what it is. But,
yeah.
But, yeah. And that's pretty much it. I mean, is there anything else wrestling-wise you want to throw out there before we kind of wrap this thing up? Whoa.
Yeah, is that so? I guess that's what she said. So,
She said like, subscribe, comment.
she said like.
Oh man, that's funny. Well, what's
Yeah.
up, Kogan? I see you in the chat, man. Kenny, DeAndre. I didn't have my chat up for a lot of this, y'all. But thank
I
you for
know my
joining
chat just like loaded. I thought there was like no one here, but I guess it just loaded.
us.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it though. If you do any, if you have any last minute super chats or donations, we'll still definitely address those before we sign off here. We'll go over our sponsors and where to follow us and all that stuff. But if you send anything during that time, we will address it before we actually log off here. If you got anything for us.
Yes.
I need to pull the sponsors
Okay.
if you can do your thing.
Sure. First of all, thank you everyone in our awesome chat for being there. We love our chat. Sorry I wasn't as active. She's chewing my finger. As active in the chat. I didn't see it. But if you could please consider giving this video a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribing to the channel. That way we can get more like-minded, amazing people in the chat like you guys, and we can continue to have engaging and thought-provoking conversations. It would really mean a lot to us. You guys are the reason that we're here. You make it a lot of fun, and we really do enjoy having you here. So liking and subscribing is totally free. And that is something that you could do to really help us out. Ouch.
Yes, it helps the as lame as it sounds, the YouTube algorithm will recommend this video to more wrestling fans if there's more people hitting the like button. So that's why we talk about it so much, because it is a free way to support the show, and it really helps spread the word of us doing the show, and potentially brings more people on into the chat and people who can get involved and kind of join our little community of wrestling fans. So I'm missing a sponsor. Oh yeah, this was it. I knew I was missing somebody. All right, let's talk about the sponsors of the show. I'll start off today with Music City Toys and Collectibles. They are the place to be for action figures, memorabilia, autographs, old magazines. I mean, anything you think of that has to do with professional wrestling, Music City Toys and Collectibles has you covered. They are located at 101 West Main Street in Watertown, Tennessee. Watertown, Watertown, Tennessee. Watertown. I just never. I feel like I always want to say Watertown because it just sounds better to me, but it might be Watertown.
Yeah. Watertown. Go to Watertown.
That sounds so much more southern, but it is in a really southern area of Tennessee. So
Watertown. Watertown. Watertown.
Watertown.
Watertown. Go down to the Watertown.
101 West Watertown, Tennessee. Go say hey to the guys over there. They're over there working hard in that new retail spot, and it's awesome. They got a ton of loose figures. They got a ton of mint on card figures. They've got autograph 8x10s, all the stuff that I mentioned before, old DVDs, and also like non-wrestling stuff too. If you're into like collecting Ninja Turtles or like baseball stuff or whatever, I mean, they got a lot of stuff there. I found a Brett Favre figure for a Vikings figure through them that I didn't even know existed, and like,
Nice.
I'll buy anything that's Brett Favre in the Vikings. It was like that 2-year window where I was like, all right, I gotta appreciate Brett Favre now after years of hating him with Green Bay. So, anyways, Music City Toys and Collectibles, they're the best. They're nice people. They give you fair business, and they can also sell you stuff on their Facebook page. So make sure to follow them on all social media at Music City Toys and their new website at musiccitytoys.biz. Also, shout out to independentwrestling.tv. They are somewhere that you can go if you want to watch a lot of independent professional wrestling. I'm going to do the scroll real quick just to show y'all. My mouse pad's all screwed up. Here we go. These are all, I'm going pretty fast, but these are all promotions, all right, that have, some of them have a few shows, some of them have hundreds of shows. These are all different promotions, y'all, that you can watch on independentwrestling.tv. It's only $9.99 a month. If you use code FIGHTTALK, FIGHTTALK, all is one word with no space in the promo code spot, that helps support the podcast. We very much appreciate that when you do that. So once again, that's code FIGHTTALK at iwtv.live or independentwrestling.tv. Also, shout out to my brother, Ryan Jensen. He is an owner at Steel Boxing and Athletics. This dude must change his bio on Instagram daily. I feel like every time I look at this thing, it looks different. He was with Steel Boxing and Athletics, a gym out of Atlanta, Georgia. He works with people of all needs. So if you're looking to learn how to throw hands, you want to get in better shape, you want to learn self-defense, if you want to compete at an amateur or professional level in MMA, kickboxing, boxing, whatever it is, or if you have any neurological issue like Parkinson's, MS, dystonia, anything that affects maybe your movement or kind of gives you pain on your day-to-day life, Brian is completely certified to help you in those situations as well. Like, he can help you in person at his gym. He can meet you at your work. He can meet you at your house. He can meet you outside in a park. Doesn't matter. If you are anywhere else in the world, he can meet you online. He can, help with Skype sessions and Zoom calls and that kind of stuff. I wish I could open this on my computer. I don't have an Instagram account, so it won't let me. But this is his co-owner, Christian Steele here. Just came back and competed for the first time in years as a boxer, and I wasn't there.
I saw that. He won, right?
Yeah, he did. He apparently smoked the dude. So that's really good to know. I was here for the UFC watch along, so I was unable to go to the show. I did that over for Fightful over the weekend, but yeah, and I love that gear. I love the lime green, like the bright green and in black combo. That's what's up. So
Yeah.
yes, shout out to Christian Steele and Steel Boxing and Athletics. This is their Instagram page if you want to check it out. STEELE Boxing Athletics. And then Brian is at Boxing ATL, BOXING ATL. And last but never least, WrestleRumble.com. We got a new contest that is going to be opening up soon. Money in the Bank Pick'em. First place is $1,000. Second place and third place are both going to be $100. So another $1,200 total up for grabs. And then there's also the $1 belt raffles for the Monster Custom Championship. So we'll be keeping you updated on the Money in the Bank Pick'em contest going forward. I hope that I can win $1,000. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I got 28th place in the contest for this past show.
I got my link and I forgot to fill it out. Me, I was so mad. I was like, no.
Boo. That happens almost to at least one person every time that I do the giveaways. At least one person every time hits me up like, I totally forgot to fill it out. I'm like,
I had it there and I was like, dang it.
It's all good. Well, I don't remind you anymore because like they go to the same place every time. But anyway, if y'all want a chance, I give these away throughout the month too. So I'll give some away on this show, on my show with Doug, and just randomly on Twitter and stuff like that. So make sure to stay up to date with all the contests that WrestleRumble.com does by following them on social media at WrestleRumble. So that's everything I've got. Let me get you pulled up here. Boom. Jessi?
That me. So yeah, basically I'd like you guys, if you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel and to like this video. That would mean a lot to us. If you want to talk to me, see more of me, all that fun stuff, I do have an OnlyFans, onlyfans.com/Jessi the Buckeye. If you want to DM me, talk with me, see more of me, that's the place to do it. Don't be trying to get on my Twitter, DMs, my Instagram, my Facebook, all that is shut down. But yeah, so OnlyFans, onlyfans.com/Jessi the Buckeye. And if you feel like having pizza tonight, you've had a long day, and your kids are just giving you hell, or your dog's giving you hell, your dog's got diarrhea, you're busy cleaning up dog diarrhea, or your dog is just losing its mind, your cat's being an asshole, whatever, and you don't feel like cooking, and you want some Papa John's pizza, and that sounds good to you, use my code Jessi25, JESSI25, all one word, to get 25% off your entire Papa John's pizza order, because dishes are a pain in the ass, and no one wants to do them, and just order pizza and have no dishes, and have all the free time to watch all the shows, and all the IWTV that you want, and all that good stuff. So yeah, 25% off, man. It's good till the end of the year. So
25.
Yeah, 25,
It's
25.
it's a code that works. I have used it many times. Um, yeah, that's awesome. I I randomly plug that too. I'll see people randomly like talking about wanting pizza, like just on like Twitter or Facebook, and I'll just comment just Jessi25 underneath. It's like
Yeah,
constant just.
good. Anytime I see like it on my Instagram, like an influencer or someone famous getting Papa John's, and you can message them, like it's an option. I'm like, use code Jessie25 for 25% off. It'll totally work. They never respond, but
Oh, that's hilarious.
yeah,
Nice.
I
Yep.
know. I'm proud of my sponsorship.
As
But
you sh- as you should be. As you should be.
yeah,
I see
yes.
the FedEx guy driving past my place right now. I bet you anything he did. I've been waiting for AEW action figure since Thursday.
Oh,
Yeah, and like I feel like he definitely didn't just come to my door. He might have, but I don't think he did. Ugh, it's been frustrating. Anyways,
day.
huh?
It's Amazon Prime Day.
Is that?
It's like Black Friday for Amazon Prime.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude. I bought a whole bunch of shit for like literally 50% off. My whole order was like originally $95 and it cost me like $50.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, shout out
Yeah,
to Amazon
I
Prime.
yeah, I needed like my daughter has to have headphones for some reason for kindergarten and I got them for like 50% off. I was like, "Hell yeah."
Nice.
So, and they
Um,
just showed up at my door. It was crazy. Yesterday I ordered some shit and it was at my house last night. That's amazing.
DeAndre asked who I got for AEW on the way. It's all of Series 5, I believe, at this point, is what I'm on
Oh,
at this point.
really looking forward to it then, huh?
Yeah, so this is Kazarian and Scorpio Sky, and they both come with tag team titles. This is the second version of Hangman Page, the second version of John Moxley, and then the first Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. So
Nice.
I'm excited, and I don't want to get my hopes up, but I've been seeing a lot of people from this batch because like I'm in a lot of like these figure collecting groups and stuff online. There's a lot of people that are in my same group of pre-orders for these things. They've been getting some of the chase and rare versions of the.
Yes, I've seen those.
Oh my god! If I got a chase or rare Moxley or Hangman, I'd be so happy.
You let me know, dude.
Oh, the whole internet will know because I always update my display picture. Like that's like a thing I do. Whenever I get new AEW figures, I take another new picture of the wall. So yes, but I'll let you know first. I'll give you the exclusive.
Yay.
So
Yay.
anyway, y'all, if you want to see those pictures whenever I get my action figures and you want to follow the rest of the stuff I do, you can follow me on Twitter at FightTalk_, FIGHTTALK_. Later tonight, at the time of this recording, I'll be going live at 10 p.m. Eastern with Doug for our weekly show where we talk a whole bunch of mixed martial arts and pro wrestling. So that's always fun. It's usually about like 2 or 3 hours long, and we talk like basically into like the middle of the night. So it's fun. It's like a different type of vibe, kind of, but it's a fun late night type of show. So if y'all want to check that out, that's YouTube. Just search RVD Tito for Life, RVD TITO, the number 4 LIFE, and yeah, we just stay updated. I'm doing more stuff with Fightful. We're not doing a watch along this Saturday because the card is small and because there's AEW also on Saturday. But we'll be gearing up for the next UFC pay-per-views in like 2 or 3 weeks, and that's going to be a huge one. Got some video editing stuff for them soon as well, and more stuff, I guess, kind of on the MMA and pro wrestling side. So just stay tuned at Fightful and subscribe to Fightful Select to listen to the Weekender podcast and to get all the exclusives from Sean Ross Sapp and Alex Pulowski, Sour Graps Pod, and all that stuff too. So yeah, everything I do, I just always try to keep updated on my Twitter at FightTalk_. So before we anything else before we sign off, Jessi?
Nope. I hope everyone has a good week.
Yeah.
Has fun, I guess.
Yes. Have a good week, y'all. I will keep y'all updated. I'll let you know how my haul is at Dave & Buster's next week. I'll be going tomorrow. So yeah, let's go. DMBs. It's my new life every Wednesday.
Yes.
And also, I have completed 6 of the Fast and Furious movies.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, the first Fast and Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious, which is the 4th one, Fast 5, and then whatever the 6th one was called. So yeah, I'm gonna probably watch the 7th one today, and probably the 8th, and I'll be completely caught up on the whole series. Oh, and I gotta watch Hobbs and Shaw also.
Oh yeah, that's a one. That's part of it.
Yeah, Roman Reigns, baby.
That's right. Wow, he does the ooh.
I hadn't seen it yet, but I heard that he's in it very briefly, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm out here just living my life a quarter mile at a time. But we'll see you next week, talking some more pro wrestling, probably on like a Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll once again, stay subscribed. Make sure you're following us on social media. That way you'll know when we're going live next. See ya.
All right. See ya. Bye.